Good morning, it's turned out nice again. It's Thursday, the 27th of December 2018, and you're watching KopTalk.tv. Alright, how's it going, guys? You alright? Yes. Hey, I saw all your comments on my video from yesterday. You saying, alright, guys, I'm back. Did you miss me and all that? And you all did. Well, majority of you did. So I'm delighted with that. Some really nice comments on there. I wish I could reply to them all. So, how are you doing? You alright? Are you back at work yet? Or whatever? I don't know. Or what are you doing? Keep letting me know in your comments. I'd like to know what you're all up to and that. So it's Thursday. It's always confusing, isn't it, over the Christmas time as to what day it is. I'm looking forward to getting back to normal really with it all. But it is a nice time of the year, I guess, for most people. I'm not really. I do like Christmas, but since my mum died and that, it's just not the same. Do you know what I mean? And I ain't got my dad and stuff, so no grandparents, no brothers, no sisters, no fuck all really. You know, but the kid, my son's coming out today, Rob. You know, Charlotte and Rob are grown up now. Rob's 19, Charlotte's in her 20s. You know, mid-20s now. Bless her. A lot of you remember her from KopTalk when we started back in the 90s. You know, when she was a little girl. But she's a mummy herself now. So you know, with Christmas though, I've always like seen them after Christmas Day. You know, I've always thought like that. Well, you know, I was separated from the mum and that obviously, and I always thought that they should be with the mum on Christmas Day, like in their own house with their own presents and things like that. So we never had any of that, like having to decide who's having them. I just didn't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I understand why dads would want them on Christmas Day to try and replicate that feeling that they maybe don't get. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to dig at you if you're in that situation yourself. But me, I've always thought, nah, it's fine. Let them have the day with their mum and that. And it still continued to this day. Even though Rob's 19, I was like, nah, get yourself out after Christmas, mate. He's still got family, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He's got his mum and he's got his grandma and aunties and and all that. So I'll see him today. What we used to do when my mum was around, we used to have like a Christmas dinner, our Christmas dinner. We used to delay it and we used to have it on Boxing Day. And have kids around then, and they do it all again and get all the presents again. Like, but it's all changed now for me. So yeah, but there you go. I hope you all had a nice Christmas and that, And if you don't celebrate it, I hope you had a nice time off. New Year to go, obviously. New Year, same shit. But some celebrations then that we'll all be taking part in, no doubt. And yeah, and let's hope that 2019 is a good year for all of us. So. I'll see my son tonight, so I'm looking forward to him. I think I'm doing the radio show tonight, guys, the Offside show on Radio 1 Benidorm.es is the website if you want to go to that. Or if you've got the TuneIn app on any mobile device, just search Radio 1 Benidorm and we will be live from 5 PM UK time tonight for 2 hours. That's just a current affairs, like, sort of show. It's nothing to do with sport. That's on the weekends we do the sports show. So if you're interested in that, I think I'll be returning to the airwaves tonight after several weeks off. So thank you very much for your comments. They were really, really nice. I might do a video just about them later. We'll see. I am doing a podcast today for the extra time subscribers, and I will also be updating DKB.tv shortly. So what I want to talk to you about is the Mo Salah dive against Newcastle, and to get your opinions on it. Do you think he dived? Now, I know we have to be biased, you know what I mean, and I know we're going to defend our boy and we're going to defend our club and everything, but I expect honesty when I ask you these questions, right? So just pretend there's no other supporters watching this video, right? And do you know what? I'm going to stop turning my head, because every time I turn my head, I realise that I think I'm thinning out even more, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm obviously thinning out, but I mean like the Yogi Bear. What am I going to do? You guys have watched my videos now for years and followed me on KopTalk for 20 years. So am I going to end up bald or what? I'm going to have to start doing that. Am I at that age now? All my mates are like that. They have to shave all their hair off. Yeah, I'm the only fucker left with any, you know what I mean? So what do you reckon? Am I going to go bald? Have any of you guys hit that crisis? You know what I mean? But apparently women think it's sexy as fuck. Not that I need any fucking anything else to help me out on that front. Sorry. So What the fuck were we talking about? Mo Salah. So yeah, just pretend no one's watching, and tell us the truth. What do you think? Do you think it was a dive? Now then, I've seen a bit dry my lips. And I used to have a mate that did that all the time in pub. He was old. He was in his 60s. You know what I mean? And we used to call it. He used to say it was like a lizard. You just sit there and all of a sudden you go. You know what I mean? The fuck's that about? Daft gun. I've seen it from different. I'm back, aren't I? I've seen it from different angles, and some make it look worse than it actually is. However, when I was just looking at a video of it now on YouTube. It's on a channel called The Geordie Mob. And if anything, to be honest, they've used a clip that doesn't make it look too bad. If you want to go on YouTube and you will find it if you search Mo Salah dives 4 pen against Newcastle 4-0. Alright? And so you can see the same one that I'm referring to. Mo Salah dives for pen against Newcastle 4-0. The channel is The Geordie Mob. Now when I watch this, it comes in the area, the defender pulls his left arm, as you'll be aware, definitely pulls him back, and Salah obviously goes down like, you know, a bag of shit, you know, like he's like a bag of spuds that's just dropped off a lorry or something. But the more I watch it, the more that I think that he, you know, there is definite contact there. I don't think anyone can dispute that. Did it affect his run? Yes, I think it did. And I'm saying this, you know, if you're a Newcastle fan here, don't just start caps locking me to death. I'm saying it as I genuinely feel. Honestly, I would be the first fecker to stick the knife in if he was really diving or making a big deal out of it. Because I hate cheats, even at my own club, as Rafa Benitez would say, my own club. I don't like it. Luis Suarez was terrible for it. I don't like cheats. I don't care who you play for, whether you play for my team or any other team. I just don't like them. So this was quite an important, you know, situation for me to look at, because obviously Mo Salah is the main man, and he's going to get a lot of people defending him from Liverpool. But he does pull him. He does pull him back. It affects him. So at that point you then say, right, what happens next? So you see I've stopped it there, and you can see he's got his arm on him and he's pulled him back. He's definitely got the contact, definitely affected his play. And then you're thinking, well, the next part of a situation like that is often a dive, or the way that a player falls to the ground. They can make it look worse if they overemphasise it, can't they? Do you know what I mean by that? So sometimes you get a genuine penalty claim, but because the player then makes a deal of it, you know, it makes a big deal of it, it can make it then you can then go like, hang on, you didn't need to do that, you've made it worse. So I was then thinking, well, did he make it worse? You know, as is this why? But when you look at his fall, I would say that he didn't have to probably fall like he did. Just before he hits the ground, just before he goes down, there's the pullback, a little bit of a ooh, what's happening to me? You know, which a little bit of I don't think he needed to do. But then the fall just does look genuine. But that is from that camera angle. So what I'm trying to say is that angle that I'm watching, you see the contact. There is a definite effect, you know, in the way that he's running. It does pull him back. There's a bit of a, you know, which is probably like, you know, not really necessary, but and then he goes to ground. And it isn't really theatrical the way he goes to ground, I don't think. There's just that one incident, you know, one split second, where I can see some people would maybe think, you know, that's where they're making the dive, you know, claim from as a result of that bit. That split second, millionth of a second or something. Now, if I was to maybe be reviewing that from another angle, it might look worse than it is. Is it a penalty? Was it a penalty? I think it was. I think it was. And even if he did go down like, you know, like, you know, it is a penalty. So I think the anger really from the Newcastle point of view is probably as a result of just that little bit of a, you know, where he maybe just, you know, exit a little bit. But I think take that away and it's still a fucking penalty, whatever way you say about it. And the referee, what was it? Is it Mark Alsey, what's that referee called? Mark Alsey, former Premier League referee, said he should be banned for 2 games of simulation. And this is a news article I've put on KopTalk.com today, where it says that there was fears when the FA disciplinary panel met today that Salah would be under the suspension, which would mean he would have missed games against Arsenal and Manchester City, apparently. I'm taking their word for it because I haven't actually looked at the fixture list, but you know what I'm saying. I should be up to date on things. But guys, give me a break, man. You know what I mean? I've been away and I'm not really in the loop at the moment, and this is my first day back in here. And believe it or not, when I'm not in my office and when I'm not, making videos for you guys and working on the website, I tend to shut off from it all, and I'm very much just like on Twitter, and I'll have a nosy at stuff and things like that. But I'm probably not as diehard as you, because I don't know. Sometimes for me, it does feel like a job when it's like fucking hell, I'm sick of hearing about it. Do you know what I mean? You probably won't understand that, and I would never have understood that if you'd have told me that 20 years ago when I first started out. But sometimes it's like just nice for me to escape the debate for a little bit. So I haven't really paid much attention to the fixture list, but here I have it here in front of me. And Liverpool's next 2 games are Arsenal and Manchester City, which you're probably thinking, you fucking didn't know that, you couldn't. No, I knew it was Wolves and Brighton after that. But do you get my point? And another thing is, right, guys, I don't know. This is my personality, right? This is me, football or not football. I have a terrible memory. Terrible memory. I can remember things that are probably pointless. I can say to you, "Oh, do you remember 30 years ago?" When and I can remember all that. I can remember stuff from years ago. And people go, "How do you remember that?" Or I'll put a film on, or I'll put this is an example because I had this conversation with someone recently, and I can. When there's one of them football programs on where they're talking about the past, and they'll show you a clip of Liverpool in 1991 or something like that, or 82 or 80. Well, 82 is probably a bit too far back for me. So I was only 8. But from when I started going to the games and really watching Liverpool, and that, I can watch a game from the 90s, early 90s, for example, and say, "Oh yeah, I know, he passes to whoever and he passes there, I know what's going to happen," and I can remember all of that. You can put anything on, I say, "Yeah, I know that." But I can't tell you, I can't remember now something that, say, happened in the Liverpool-Newcastle game. If you said to me who created that goal, my memory is terrible with stuff like that. And I don't know what that is, and I'm like that with my personality in offline as well. I can't fucking remember anything. So does that mean I'm going to get Alzheimer's, or is it not work like that? Do you know what I mean? Because I have a terrible, 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 terrible memory. I just do not digest anything. And people can have a conversation with me, during a game of football or something, and they'll say, "Yeah, I'm going to do, blah, blah, blah." I go, "All right, yeah. And then later on they'll go, "Did you not listen to what I said?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." Do you know what's that all about? I don't know. Maybe I don't listen if it's not really that important. I don't know. Have I got shite in my eyes as well? I'm tired today, guys. Is that my Francis Underwood t-shirt? I know what you're thinking, don't fucking start, it's a fictional character, so fuck off. Long live Francis. So yeah, like I say, I'm just like terrible. Well, like the fixtures there, I will have known that it was Arsenal Man City, but I forget. I just forget. Honestly, I do. Right, the last game, Newcastle, I could not tell you now who we played in the game previously. I can't tell you that. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is. Did we play Wolves? No, the Wolves are coming up, aren't they? Let's have a look. Yeah, we played Wolves. Yeah, so I got that one. But yeah, don't ever invite me on a quiz show out like that. Do you know what I mean? Like stuff. Anyway, I know that's a bit boring. So yeah, so they wanted him banned. There was a fear that they would get that. Could possibly get retrospective, disciplinary action, and that he could miss a couple of games, but miss those key games as well. Massive games. But it's he's not going to be. The official line, if you like, I'm looking on the members website here, was that the FA said the incident did not meet the threshold for deception of a match official. Did not meet missed a word out there. Just edit that while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, so that's good news, isn't it? It's good news. Well, I'd like to know whether you think that he did dive. What's your view on it? Be honest with me. Be honest with me. And if you're a Newcastle fan, you're not gonna give a shit. I mean, I do. The radio show that I do, like I talked to you about. I think I might mention at the beginning of this video. There's 3 of us do that, and the other 2, one's a Liverpool fan and one's a Newcastle fan, and the guy that's the Newcastle fan, we didn't really speak prior to the game. He just sent this picture into our little group chat. Sorry guys, I had to restart the video there. It just it froze on my screen. What I was saying was that he sent me this this picture of Newcastle United, and there's Rafa Benitez there. You can probably work that out with the text "Klopp is a cunt." That was prior to. This is a Newcastle fan, of course. Prior to the game, and the other guy in the group, that's the Liverpool fan, said that's not nice. And then he sent a picture of himself with his son on holiday at Christmas Day or whatever, but it was away for Christmas. And I put, is that Klopp in the white jacket? Because obviously he's wearing a white jacket. I'm sort of inferring that maybe he was the you know what I'm saying. And the only message we heard from him again really during the game was cheating, penalty, diving, cunt. So I think it's fair to say that he thought that it was a dive. And later on, he just never heard from him again, which is unusual. And I just put Scott is quiet, and that came into the group later on in the evening. So I think it's safe to say that as a Newcastle supporter, he thinks that Mo Salah did dive. Okay, so guys, listen. I'm using a new microphone. The second part of this video, I've used it on a different setting. I think it makes it sound very echoey in here. So I might go back to the other mic. It's just, I know it's boring stuff, but just so you know, if you're picking up on stuff like that, I will, I do too. So I'll try and resolve it in due course. Sorry if the video is not very good. I'm trying to get back into things. So he's escaped, if you like, escaped. I don't think he even needed to escape. I think it was a penalty. There you go. I think it was a penalty, but did he dive to get the penalty? I don't think he dived. There you go. I genuinely think that it was a genuine penalty. I think there was maybe a split second where he maybe made a meal of it, which can then make you think he dived. I don't think he dived. I do not think he dived. I think you could say, most people would use the term went down easily. Do you know what I mean? I was going to make a innuendo rude joke then, but I won't bother, it's too early. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts please. I'll speak to you soon. Alright.